Well, good evening and welcome everybody to another Full Sail University online class. My name is Steve Kane, and once I am here with you, my audio is clicking out a little bit. But we are here with the Audio Workstations class as we jump in this week 2, lecture 1. We're rocking on a Monday. It is August the 12th. August the 12th, I said, a little after 7 o'clock. And the audio is not happy tonight. But Anna's in the house. Erica, Keith, Kirsten, Kyle, Lawrence, Remarcus, Stan, Ted, Trey E, and Trey K are all here. What's going on, everybody? We're going to have a lovely night tonight as we jump into our Workstations Pro Tools 2 class. We got our Pro Tools 2 tonight. So buckle up, get those seatbelts buckled, keep your arms and legs inside your vehicle at all times, and let's get this party started. Just as soon as that trumpet player runs out of breath. All right, well, thank you for being here, everybody. I appreciate you being here. We got 11 people up in this house tonight. It's much more cozy than we had last week, and I invite you all. We need to break some records in here. It's 32 is my record, so come all when you got it. I apologize for my audio glitchy-witchy tonight. It's being a little silly here. Not sure what it is, but we will go with it. Let's see what, actually, you know what? Let's check our buffer size real quick. I was messing around with this earlier, and that may have had something to do with it. I want to go to 256. All right, now I think that's going to help out a little bit. What that does is kind of like a doctor in his waiting room. It's kind of like how many people are going to sit in there. Now, what the trick is when you're recording, you want to keep that number low because it increases the delay. But when you're mixing, you don't really hear the delay because you're not having the input instrument right there. So, well, welcome everybody, as I said, and tonight we're going to jump into our Workstations 2 class. So we're looking in our week 2. And we've got our Pro Tools assignment dose, as some of my friends say. And as you look in here, like last week, we give you all of your accoutrements that you need in this zip load file labeled PTA2, which is an acronym for Pro Tools Assignment 2. You look on your guidelines because we don't want anything to be a little what? Catch you by surprise, right? So make sure that you read this. I'm not going to read it to you, but it says it is absolutely essential to it. I'm kidding. I'm not going to read it to you. But what it is basically saying is tonight we're going to jump into some advanced editing. Now, remember, like I said last week, what we are intending for you to do is take this very objective assignment as you learn to do certain things. And then what we're going to do is we are going to apply this in a very creative way tomorrow night, in a very subjective way. And that way you get both ways of doing things. Now, as I always remind people, do a save as. Now, why do we do a save as? It'll save your ass sometime, is what I tell people. Because it's very simply put, it gives you a new starting point, right? If you really mess something up, you can always go back and start over from the original. So remember that we want to make sure that you get all of that and that you are able to keep practicing it. So make sure you do your save ases. Now, as I always say about our assignments, you know what I'm going to say about the late assignments. They will not be accepted. Right? We've already gone through that. Now, we do have a heart. Talk to us before you're missing something, and we will see what we can do. The earlier and better notice that we have, the easier it is for us to work with you. So, now tonight we're going to be doing these really cool things called playlist, and you have to use them exactly. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's like we're screaming at you. Playlist must be used. Explain. Right. So, just make sure you do it like I'm doing it here. Did y'all hear about that bodybuilder that ran out of his protein powder? He walked in the kitchen. He's like, "No way." No way. All right, so remember, I haven't graded professionalism yet, so laughing is quite important. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You don't have to laugh. I just like you more if you do. All right. So, yeah, man. Jump in here, do a save as, and please name it correctly. You're going to find out later this week that that is probably the silliest way to lose a handful of points. All right, so when we do that, you know, like I told you, I went ahead and I downloaded it. When I downloaded it, it did come with all of the proper things that we need. Came with the whole zip file. And you undo the zip file, and it gives you your normal audio files folder. It gives you that one that we provide for you, especially from Full Sail University. Bounced files, clip groups, PTA, session file backups, and video files. All those, right, is part of your normal session. Those are created naturally. By doing a save as, we got another session file, right, and everything is stored in our session folder. Give me a capital H if you are cool with the hierarchy of these files, because what I don't want y'all doing is like, yo, I'm gonna save all of my audio files in this special folder on my desktop called audio, right? I don't want you to do that. So, all right, so good. I got a lot of hierarchies coming in. Very good, very good. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Stan, Trey, K, Keith, Trey, E, Kirsten, Ted, and Kyle. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So now, does anybody know what this window is? I mean, it tells you right here it's the mix window, but did you know that this is the mix window, that there's two main windows? You got the mix window and the edit window. And the quick key to go toggle between the two of them is Command equals. All right, so here's the edit window. Now I've added my own little tracks on here, but this is what it comes with, right? And you're going to do your save as so you can get this. And here's what it sounds like. This is what week one would have sounded like if you did it correctly. And I haven't graded them. I'll be grading those later this week. But I'm assuming that you did it correctly, and this is what it sounds like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what it is, right? So, three fingers down, right? Bam. Now remember, it doesn't make the bam sound. You've got to do that yourself. All right, so we did the save as, right? And I know I showed you that last time, right? Save as, and save copy in. All right, give me a capital S if you are good with the three different ways of saving. Give me a question mark if you need to ask me a question about it. I'll pause for the cause. Ted says there's a bit of lag. It could be. It's this wonderful internet. My cat is going nuts. Sorry, she's. Now I see why. She got a little piece of tape stuck on her. That's funny. Three fingers down is Control, Option, and Command. Yes, Keith, because we'd rather call it three fingers down than any kind of acronym that we could come up with. All right, so save as, got it your first name and last name and PTR too. All right, so now we're going to locate the audio files for import folder, and we're going to go inside the PTA session, and we're going to import the funk bass into the session, right? Now, funky bass is the Nashville way to say funk bass, right? I'm kidding. I'm just, because everybody likes to go fishing up there in Nashville, right? I'm going to go make some brim and some bass, y'all. All right, so funk bass, and get that as a new track on that, y'all. So check it out, y'all. All right, now I want to make sure that you see the actual, like Shift Command I, right, would get you this. And just go get to where you need to get to. So we are on week 2, Funk Bass 04. Kitty cat, you gotta chill out. Did y'all hear that stuff knocking over? She's like knocking over all my stands and stuff. And the studio door is closed. She's like, I can't get out. All right, so we got to convert this thing over to the proper format, right? So we're going to go boom, right? Convert it, bam. And then we hit done. Now, this is when it says new track because it's going to say, hey, yo, do you want to go to the clips list? Actually, first it's going to ask you where you want it to be. If you want to screw yourself up big time, change this, right? But seriously, don't change this. Just put it in the audio files folder that it comes with. It's going to default to the right place. All right, and then now this is where I told you that it's going to ask you if you're going to get a new track or a new clip. So you might want to make sure that you choose track. Now, when you choose track, look, I get some of these options: grade out to being grade in, and it tells you or it asks you basically what do you want to get. Do you want to get a spot mode type of placement? Do you want to put it in the exact selection that you've made? Or do you want to put it at the session start? I just want to put it at the session start right now. So I hit awk, right? Remember, it's okay to hit awk. And there we go. Yes, my wife just rescued the kitty. She is not angry anymore. She's got a piece of tape stuck to her. She was a little bit angry. I had to call in for help here because she was like, she's going to start meowing. I know she was. All right, so let's see what this funky, funky bass sounds like. There it is, 3-finger skin key. Watch this. Bam. Funky, funky basses in your face, face, face. All right, space bass. All right. So it sounds like they're moving to the root up to like a minor 3 boom. And then 4. And then they're doing a run down there. All right. So 1 3, maybe it's a minor 3. It's hard to tell that low. I couldn't really hear if it was a minor or major, but here we go. So we got that. We're going to hit save. Now we've done that and it says, all right. And that's all good. Session is a new track. All right, so now we're going to do this duplicate playlist stuff, or some of my fancy friends say duplicate playlist. Right, now, here's the advanced editing part, right? Somebody's, is it distorting? Is it distorting? Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to take all of these. Check it out. Right now they're going to my main output. I've got a submaster here. So I'm going to take all of these to my submaster. And I'm going to show you how to do this in Week 4. Look, my audio has been clicking out less. I say that and it's been clicking out. So now let's take this. Is that better? All right, well, let's see real quick. Is it just the music or is my voice still really loud as well? We're pausing in the archive right now for a quality check. The music is still really loud. Now, is it loud or just distorted? Is it soft and distorted or is it loud and distorted? Like, okay, so is bringing it down helping? All right, I get a couple of yeses, a couple of nos. All right, so how is it still distorted? All right, so that seems to have worked then. All right, good, good, good. All right, well let's do this then. Um, all right, so we got that taken care of. Perfect. All right, so we just pulled everything down. Now, just to teach you a little bit, what I'm doing is I set it to a bus, and a bus is like a patch cable. It's for internal routing, and I routed all of them to up here, to that same bus. Okay? And I will, no, we'll see. All right, so we're going to do a S here. Now, all right, so we got funk bass. Now, all right, so a duplicate playlist. All right, so let's talk about this. And you're going to see exactly what I mean here in a second. But let me kind of explain it first, and then it'll be easy as we're doing it. So when I'm working with music, you've got two ways to make music, right? You either make it additively or subtractively. Just like art, right? You either start with the blank canvas and you draw stuff on it, or maybe you start with a whole wooden stump and chisel away parts and make a beautiful sculpture, right? So you can make art additively, and music is the same way. And what I mean by that, I can start with an empty track and start building up stuff. Or what I do is I put a bunch of full stuff on there and then copy and paste it, and then I start editing it out to get what I really want. All right. Now, one of the ways that you can do this is by making duplicate playlists, because then you don't have to lose the original track, right? So, like in this example, if I was the producer and you were my engineer and we were working on this clap track together, and you wanted to try something different, like cutting and pasting it and tweaking it out a little bit, but the original, you didn't want to overwrite the original one. So what you're going to do is make a duplicate playlist, right? So we're going to make a duplicate playlist. We're going to name it this. I'm just going to copy the name here. Clappe step 3. Hit Command C. All right, so here's one of the ways that people are going to mess up doing this, right? They're going to do what I tell people to do a lot of times, is just right click and look for things. And there's a duplicate right there, right? Duplicate. But look, this is a duplicate track. It is not duplicate playlist, right? Matter of fact, playlists are only one of the things that are going to do it, right? So hit cancel. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit the down arrow, and you're going to get a new playlist. Sorry, get a duplicate playlist. And now we hit Command V, flap step 3, and then I'm going to hit just return, which hits OK. And now we have this. So now we can go do these edits on it, and then you'll see here in a minute why I like that, because I'm able to show people different things here. All right, so we're going to copy the lap at 32480 and paste it there at 33 and 33. All right, so 32480. So we'll go here and we'll type it in: 3 sideways 0, 2 sideways 0, 4 to the 8 to the you-know-ho. All right, so now as I zoom in, all right, I can go to grid mode, make sure that I'm on 16th notes. All right, so 32480, and I just get selector, right? Now, here's the cool thing. Let's pause for the cause for a second. Let's quickly jump down a teaching tunnel. That was my own homemade THX sound effect. All right, so check this out. You've got jokers to the left on me, jokers to the right. Here I am stuck in. Okay, here we go. I got modes on the left. I've got tools on the right. Right now, check this out. Check it out. Option, because it's on the left. Option 1, 2, 3, 4 changes my modes. But command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 changes all of my tools. And then you could even go to 7 to get the smart tool, which is a combination of tools. It changes depending on where you are in the clip, right? So I like, all right, so we need the selector tool, so that's command 3, and we need grid mode, and we're already there, all right? So now I can just go get this clap, and we'll get the clap right there, boom, at 32480, right? So we copy that, hit, all right, now normally we could hit command C, right? C, X, and V still work, but because I've got keyboard focus on, I'm just gonna hit C. That's all I need to hit, right? So I hit C, and that's only works because command focuses on. And they say go put it at 33480 if I'm not mistaken. 33480 and 33720. All right, so 33480, and then I just have to hit a V. I said I just hit a V. Okay, fine. 32480. Did I not select it? Hit command V, or sorry, command C. 33480. Command V. There we go. Or just hit V. And then 33720. V. Now let's hit save. Now listen. All right. Now, Albany says last week that sounded great. This week, no. Are you talking about the beat or the delay on my voice? Teaching Tunnel. Oh, well, that's because I did the boo. I see. That's the first time I ever tried that, Albany. Was it the THX sweep that you didn't like? Oh, it was distortion. All right. Well, we got to bring that back then. All right. So, sorry about that. Hey, Albany, do you know how mermaids? Do you know what they wash their hair with? Tide. All right. So let's jump in. I'm gonna hit Command S. By the way, you want to hear a trick? So, no engineer wants you to correct them in front of somebody, right? They don't even want you to like, hey man, you forgot to hit save, or it's been a while since you hit save, right? So don't ever say that in front of an engineer. So now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna tell the engineer, hey, if I notice you hadn't been saving in a while, I'll remind you by saying something like, hey, Charlie, you're in command. Or hey, Jessica, you're in command. Or whatever. And that'll remind you to hit Command S. I'm like, all right. Kids ate all the tide. See, if you're not in the live class, you're missing some of the humor that goes on in the chat rolls. Somebody said, I thought the kids ate all the tide. I told my son he should start a backyard brownie challenge. All right. So, all right. So, you know what? On the same playlist we created in 3, why don't we paste what's at 4.2 and paste it at 4.4 and then on 4.240 and 4.720? Now, I was meaning, never mind, Ted. We're not going to go there. I was meaning from the animal, not from the earth. All right, stop that. All right, 4.2. Let's go check out 4.2, shall we? All right, 4 sideways arrow to enter, right? Oh, looky here, looky here. It is a little bit off. Matter of fact, let's see how much off it is. I'm going to hit Shift and Tab, and that tells me that it's 21 ticks off. That doesn't mean a whole lot to me right now. So I look at the time, and it says it's 11 milliseconds off, and that gets a little bit scary, right? 11 milliseconds is right on that verge of being in a phasey predicament, right? If it's under 9 milliseconds, you're not really going to notice it. And so if it was under 9, I probably wouldn't even think about messing with it. But because it is, I'm going to go ahead and fix it. So what I'm going to do, how I'm going to fix it is I'm going to hit Tab, all right? And I know that our grid resolution is 240 ticks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, for my length, go ahead and get 240 ticks. But notice how that went off, right? So, but that's fine. So let's hit X. Let's cut it, right? And so now I want to go right to beat 4 and fix it. I want to paste it right back on there. And you're like, oh no, right? So grab La Trim Tool, which is just French for the trim tool. And in slippery mode, slip that bad boy right up there. Watch this. What? How you like me now? All right, and then they said go put it at 4:4. Bam, bam. V for paste, right? 4:4, 2 on the 4 to the oh no. Right? V, paste, bam. And on the 7:2, no, right? And V. Now, if you did all this right, you can take your selector tool and triple click uno, dos, tres, and you will still be exactly 4 bars. If you did not do it right, you're going to be a little bit longer. Maybe 21 ticks longer. You never know. You never know. So do you think if Steve Harvey and his wife gets in a fight, they call it a family feud? Just curious, you know. All right, we're going to hit save. We're going to go over. So that's number 4. Now check this out. So now let's go back and visit that concept. The producer comes back from lunch or whatever, and she says, hey, what you been doing? You're like, hey, I've been editing this clap. Do you like this version? I feel that funky clap. Cool. Or do you like this version? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Right? So you got version 1 or version 2. In this way, you can try stuff, and the producer won't get mad that you messed it up, right? You just do a duplicate playlist. You're like, hey, when you were gone on lunch, I was doing some editing. See if you like it. And they're like, oh, cool. Or like, oh, it sounds like popcorn, man. You can put it back to the original. Yeah. Key says, geez, you make that look easy. Let's trade brains. LOL JK. Well, that's cool, Keith, because think about how much I would suck as a teacher if I made things look hard and difficult and couldn't explain it right. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Now, remember, everybody, I still want it to make sense. If things aren't making sense, I don't expect you to fully understand it just by watching me tonight. But I expect it to make sense. Kyle says he wants to know how I zoom in and out again. I'm going to give you a hint. I can zoom in real tight. Does that clue you in, Kyle? Right? I like to zoom in real tight. Tell everybody what that is. Because I think cheesy ways are the easier ways to remember things. You know, when you're, instead of trying to remember quick keys, right? The R and the T, right? Zoom real tight. Yep. And so, cheesy ways, remember. 3 fingers down, right? Bam, bam. Because I got to have my fingers on all of them, right? All right, so let's hit save. There's our duplicate playlist. So let's go back to number 3. All right, so give me a DP. Let me rephrase that. Give me a capital P for playlist if you understand playlists. Give me a question mark if you would like to ask me a question about it. Ted's telling me that we've got those computer overlays, and if you work great with those, that is a great way too. Ted, I found that I kept looking at that darn thing, chasing them, more than I spent more time looking for them than I did just memorizing them. But whatever works for you. 3 fingers down is not working for me, but you'll figure it out. Keith, stick around after class, and we will try it out. All right. So no other questions. All right. Very good. Well, I've got a question for. Yeah, did I tell y'all about my dream the other night where I was in the grocery store? Did I tell y'all about that dream? And the fellow was putting up all the tomatoes. Did I tell y'all that dream? And this old lady came up to him and she's like, hey, "Excuse me, Sonny, do you know where the broccoli is?" And he's like, "No, ma'am, we ran out of broccoli. We'll have a new truck in the morning, and we'll have some more tomorrow." She says, "All right, well, thank you." Did I tell y'all about this dream that I was in the grocery store? No? Nobody's saying, "Yeah, you heard it, so I guess you didn't." So anyway, so it was like she does this little circle, and she comes back and she's like, "Excuse me, Sonny, I'm having problems finding the broccoli." And he says, he kind of had this confused look, and he says, "Well, ma'am, we ran out, and we're having a truck come by in the morning, and we'll have some more broccoli in the morning." And she says, "Well, thank you, Sonny." And she left for about 3 or 4 minutes, came back. She says, "Sonny, I am having the darndest time finding the broccoli." And he's just like, he couldn't believe it. He says, "Ma'am, I'll tell you what, can you spell cat like isn't catastrophic?" And she says, "Sure, CAT." He says, "Can you spell dog like in dogmatic?" She says, "Sure, DOG." He says, "Can you spell flip like in broccoli?" And she says, "There's no flip in broccoli." He says, "Ma'am, that's what I've been trying to tell you. There's no flip in broccoli, man." Guess what? We're going to record. Whoa! I forgot I could do that. That's extreme, man. Whoa. That's wacky. Get a duplicate playlist for each track in the session and add step 5 to each one. All right, so check this out. Command C, and then so they're all going to look like that. So here's the thing. If you go, you're going to do it all individually. Yeah, it's going to no things. All right, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to shift click them all. Bam. Now it doesn't do that sound for you. Remember, you've got to do these sounds. And you got to practice them. All right, so now I'm going to hold Shift and Option, and that way when I go to Duplicate, it's going to do it to all of them. And now check this out. So here's some quick keys coming at you. Double click, right arrow, backspace, Command V. Command down arrow is going to hit next. Command down arrow, right arrow, backspace, Command V. Command down, sideways, backspace, Command V. Command down, sideways, backspace, Command V. And now we're done, so we could just hit return, and that will be okay. Ah, look at that. Look at that. All right, so now we got some step 5s coming up. What do you want us to do on step 5? We're going to hit save real quick. Step 5, we named them all below, and then it says in shuffle mode. In shuffle mode, Dave Shuffle, right? Shuffle mode, select all the clips on track 1 to 3 for a total of 2 bars and duplicate it. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do it wrong first, and then I'm going to show you how to do it right. All right, so check it out. I want to get bars 1 to bars 3 on all of them there like that. If I had it in that there grid mode, watch it. When I hit duplicate, it's going to take it and overwrite it. Watch, it's going to go right over this very speed. Watch. Boom, duplicate, Command D. Bam! And see, it just wrote right over it. So that's wrong. Wrong. All right, so check it out. what we're going to do is go in Dave Shuffle mode, right? Shuffle mode. And then what it's going to do is it's going to insert it in here and scoot this one down. That one's going to get right here, and this will get inserted right in the middle. Watch this. Boom. Oh, what? One more time. What? And that's how, if we click 3 times, uno, dos, tres, which is just Spanish for 3, I still get 8 bars. Let's listen. Return 1. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to record, Nabel. Oh, listen to my track, it's whack, it's so many of those facts, so quick keys on your knees, and you gotta practice them. Oh my, oh please. I don't know. I just go take the test and look at the rest and look at all my notes. All right. So that wasn't one of my favorite bars that I've laid down. I'm gonna hit save. See what it is. So they're going back and forth to that 1 and that 3. And then they go up to 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So save. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Span 8 bars. Whoa! We're halfway there. All right. Now, we're going to get a duplicate, and we're going to add step 6 on it, right? Do another duplicate playlist. Now, so I'm digging these duplicate playlists, right? The duplicates make them so easy. It makes it so easy for you to try new ideas without having like, well, and even vocals, right? When you're doing vocals, I want to do a couple takes in vocals so I can comp them. This is exactly how I would do them, is a duplicate playlist. All right, so I did, let's hit Command C on that. All right, so what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to highlight all of them, shift an option at the same time that's applied to selected, and I'll just get duplicate. Okay, here goes those quick keys again. So double click, sideways 0, backspace, Command V, Command down, sideways 0, backspace, Command down, sideways 0, backspace, Command V, Command down, sideways 0, backspace, Command V, sideways 0. What is going on? I think I'm hitting the wrong button. Command down. There we go. I think I hit Command up accidentally. There we go. All right, so now everybody's on step 6. We'll hit save. Remember, save that ship, right? So let's pause for a second. We want to go down and let's make sure we do it right for Kirsten here. Teaching Tunnel. Hold on, Kristen, was it you that said it was bad last time? Or it was better this time? Or am I confusing you with somebody else? I think I'm confusing you with somebody else. Somebody said that last time it sounded really good, and this time it wasn't. Was that you? I am. I thought I was. I forgot. Who said that? I'll find out. I'll scroll up. I'll scroll up. It was Albany. And Albany is not here anymore. Albany ditched us. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's why we're online. No beefs with Albany. That's why we're online. All right. So, check it out. It made me know. Okay. All right. They're going to be watching the video and turn the bass back up. All right. Let's get step 6. Oh, and then consolidate them. All right. So check this out. Consolidate. All right, so check this out. There's a couple things. You know how I showed you last time how duplicate and repeat are kind of cousins, if you will. They kind of do the same thing, right? Well, that's kind of what happens with heal and consolidate. All right. So heal is only going to work if things haven't moved, right? And they're just around. And it wouldn't get this empty space either. What consolidate is going to do is it's going to rewrite all of this and it's going to make it its own new whole file. And that's kind of cool. Now, let me tell you this little story. Let's rather than a teaching tunnel, let's do story time with Steve. All right. So, story time with Steve. All right. So, I'm recording up at Hilltop Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. It's where I actually cut my record here, releasing on Labor Day, too. And we're up in Nashville, and I get this artist that is got great pitch, but their dynamics aren't the best. And what I mean by that is they'll whisper right into the mic, and then they'll belt right into the mic, right? And so my compressor was just like grabbing a hold of them and throwing them down about 20 or 25 dB, and it just didn't sound good. All right, so check it out. So then they came back from lunch. I had edited it, right? Pretend that this was their vocal. And they're like, hey, Steve, what's going on? And I was like, well, I was just doing some editing, taking some of the clip gain down. And they're like, oh, I thought I did pretty good. And guess who didn't get a good recording, a good performance the rest of the day? That's right. Your good buddy Steve did not get a good performance. Matter of fact, I would say we got the opposite. I did hear that one distort. So here's how you do this instead. If I would have done all my edits like this and instead done this, 1, 2, 3, right? And watch this. Consolidate, shift option 3, because you have the option to shift 3 things together. And look, boom, and it gives you a whole new one. And look, it's written step 6. So let's do it all at the same time. Shift an option. Actually, I don't need to do that. Shift option 3. And there, I've got now all these nice consolidated tracks. So now, if I would have done that afterwards, they would have come back in from lunch. They'd have seen something that looks like their original vocal and never known. Matter of fact, I didn't even have to leave these up here. Check it out, under view, right? Do you need the clip to display its name? I don't know, right? What? Now, while I'm at here, let me show you a couple little things also while we're under our preferences menu. I love my display colors. I like my track to just be clip type or whatever, because then I'm going to redo it anyway. But then the default clip color, I always make it the same as the tracks. And that way, it's the same. It looks the same. Purple is purple, and blue is blue, and green is green. There we go. All right. So let's hit that. And now we've got it consolidated. So what we're going to do is get the air filter gate. Air filter. That sounds like a villain. It's like, air filter gate, I'm going to get you. This is the last time in Gotham City, air filter gate. I'm going to pause for a minute. And I'm going to go back up to step 6 and talk about consolidation. All right, so check it out. What happens is when I'm editing, especially if I'm not the engineer, let's say Kyle was my engineer, right? And Kyle was going to mix a record for me. and I was engineering the recording sessions, and he's recording or he's handling the mixing session. Do you think Kyle is going to want to have all of these floating clips around? Or because what happens if he accidentally bumps them or something like that? I think Kyle would enjoy consolidating them all, and that way, if something does get messed up, he just simply has to put things right at measure one again. And so that's what I do. A real world example, I'm working with our grad Mike Exeter right now. He's mixing my record and or my single. And before I sent it out to him, I consolidated all the tracks. So everything started at one, even if it was all the way silent until up somewhere in the middle of the song. That way, if he needed to or they got weird, he could just put everything right at measure one and it worked out. And that's why we consolidate a playlist after we do a bunch of edits. Does that make sense? Give me an MS if that makes sense. If it doesn't, let's get some questions happening and some follow up questions. Okay. And so what you did is you would highlight everything. You'd 1, 2, 3 clip, and it's under the edit menu. The question was, I forgot how to do it, and you go to consolidate clip under the edit menu. Very good. All right. So now, so let's go put air filter gate on there. All right. Air filter gate on that bass. So insert, right? Because it is something to do with dynamics, right? Even though filters, right? They're frequency dependent amplifiers, right? There we go. And let's go see what we've got to do. Evolving texture. Texture that evolves. So I go into here to the presets and I find the evolving texture. Oh, that does sound pretty neat, huh? That's pretty cool, huh? So I was trying to think the actual most crunk place to go to the bathroom, and it's got to be the Little John. All right, so there's your filters. Play around with the filters. I mean, don't on this one, on your own. This one you got to have it set exactly, so I know how that you know how to do it. But play with all these things, right? Go and have fun, and listen to them. Play with the presets. Play with the knobs. See what these things do. Experiment. You cannot mess it up. I mean, I guess you could, but you know. All right. So we got that one set properly. So we got good. Nice. All right. So number 7 is done. Look, we just got a couple more to do. So number 8, we're going to locate the audio files for import. So go inside the PTA, import the file named Funk Guitar, import in the session as a new track. I think we'll do that. So I somebody asked me, he's like, do you do any others like Batman with that low voice? And I was like, it had been a long time, and I was like, you know what? I used to do Sling Blade. And then I realized that Sling Blade just sounded like a redneck Batman. He was like, I'm gonna get you, Filter Gate. You ain't gonna go around the prison, Gotham City, and get me biscuits and mustard. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's totally right. All right, let's go get that. Now check it out. We've got the audio files for import right there. We could get the Funk Guitar, but they want to have it as a new track. Can I make it a new track just by dragging it over into my tracks list? Ted says that was a good movie. I say, sorry, I need to get lower for that. Mustard and French fry potatoes. No, he liked mustard on the biscuits, right? Mustard and biscuits. Or he liked mustard on the French fries. I forget. All right, so check it out. Can I drag it over here? We're all talking about the movie now. Dwight Yoakam in that one. He had a great role in that. The answer is yes, yes, yes. Right? Now, you don't get the cool options like, well, do you want it in spot mode or that, right? But we can just pop that bad boy right there, and then it goes, right? Let's bring it down over by that bass. Three fingers down. Listen to that funky, funky, funky guitar. Ooh, let's send that over to my submaster. All right, so that's kind of cool, right? So now I guess we got to duplicate that out. So we got that out, and it says make a duplicate playlist, make a guitar step 9. Command C. All right, so duplicate playlist. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Our grad, Pete, wrote that. Pete Schmidt. Alk. All right, so now we got it. Hit save, Command S. Are y'all noticing that I'm hitting save an awful lot? I do not ever want to go in front of a client. It's like, I forgot to hit save, so I'm going to go under my session file backups and get these rescued files because I need help saving. All right, you don't want to do that. All right, so first what we're going to do is we're going to select from 2.1 to 2.2. All right, 2.1 480 to 2.2 480, a guitar clip. In grid mode, select from 2.2 480. All right, so let's do this. 2.2 to the 480, return. 2.3 to the 480. Boom. Now, I think that's what they said. No. 2.1 to 2.2. 2.1. One 480 for 1B. All right, 2.2. All right. So, and I'm not sure how that got done. Check this out. A quick key. Semicolon goes down. P goes up. All right. So I want to copy that. So I copy it. Copy and paste it at 2.3 and 2.4. 2.3. Ah, look. Not in shuffle mode, though. Grid mode. See how it scooted that down? And then 2.4. So let's see what it sounds like now. Oh, that's kind of neato, right? So now we got a couple more instructions here. It says delete from 1.2 480 to 2.1. All right. So 1, 2. So 1.2 480. 1.2 480 to 2.1. 480 to 2. That section right there, right? And just delete it. Now, if I wanted to paste it somewhere, what would I need to do instead of delete? What editing command would I need to do if I wanted to paste it somewhere after that and still remove it? Cut. Very good. Right? So if I cut it away, I can paste it. If you just delete, you cannot paste. Very good, Erica. Keith turned this into a confessional, it looks like. He says, Save did me. Save did save me last week. I had a blonde moment. I'm not really sure what that means. And saved over my assignment after everything disappeared on my tracks list. LOL. My eyes got bigger than a fishbowl and said, Save didn't save my ass this time. Hashtag true story. LOL. Whew, baby. That's a good one, didn't it? Yeah, I like those. I like those true confessionals. All right, let's do a save real quick. And let's go get our last thing. Now we've got another duplicate playlist. A claylist. You like that? Come on. Guitar step 10. All right, check it out. So if you got a spot, right? You can double click to get one word. You can triple click to get all of them, right? That's the same thing that you do out here, right? In Pro Tools, right? Put one click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, right? That's the same thing if you're on the internet looking for stuff, right? If you're here, 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, right? So they all they want you to work the same way. So they said, all right, we'll take those. Name it guitar 10. Select from 1, 3 for 2 bars. Duplicate it 3 times. All right, so we got 8 bars. I can do that. I can rock it like that. All right, so there we are. So just duplicate. I got up my selection. 1, 2, 3. I hit Command D. You know me. Let's listen. What? That thing sounds so funky. That is amazing. Amazing. Do you know why the toilet paper didn't cross the road? Got stuck in a crack. Stuck in a crack. All right, let's figure out how to turn this thing in. All right, so just like last week, and like I said on the front side of this, I'll be getting your sessions graded. If you're in my sections, I'll be having these graded here by the end of the week before you turn in your week 2 stuff. But do a save copy in. Don't forget to name it properly, right? It's like, but it's hard. Last month they wanted last name first. It's like if you tell me how to write something out on your check, do you want me to write it out like the real way? All right. So make sure you save that correct, right? Make sure you check the audio files button and zip it. Let's go do all that. All right. So we did our session. We got a save, right? We know it's grayed out, so that's good. So we're going to do a save copy in. It's going to ask us, and we should always do it in the same file format unless we're trying to change it, right? So we'd get audio files, so they copy over, hit awk. So take off the words copy of. Save it on your desktop. And if it does this, you're fine, right? If you go check your desktop and you've got wave files in there, that's great. That's what we need, right? Audio files, and then there's your wave files, right? So that is what we need. Notice that all the extraneous folders are not there. So that's how I know that if you did save copy incorrectly. So now we're just gonna right click and compress it. And this zip folder is what I'm wanting you to turn in by 11:59. Frog sounds to the delay. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, see, it's what, when you grow up in the country, you can make all kinds of animal sounds. That's like, that's kind of how I started getting imitating animals. All right. So now check it out. No questions about what we're doing, right? Yelling at you, right? If this assignment is submitted without audio files, the assignment will be considered an audio playlist received zero. Playlist must be used as explained in class. Otherwise, you're going to get a 0. That's right. That's right. Erica says that she likes it better because you don't have to close the programs while zipping it. Zip, 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 ba-do-da. Do you save as and get it at step 1 and name it first and last? All gonna have some fun. Taking points off, it'll cost you 10. If you don't do it next week, I'll take it off again. The funk bass is imported to a new track. The clap was edited and now it sounds whack. Edit it all or you don't get it right. Those 10 points gotta be all or nothing to make it out of sight. Yeah, I'm just slowing down, man. My son started high school today, right? We have to get up at 5 in the flipping morning to catch the school bus at 6:20. Now, I guess we could sleep a little bit later, but I do not like to be rushed, right? All right, so all of these edits have to be right or you don't get the 10 points. It's all or nothing, baby. Consolidating and duplicating. Filtergate, right? Importing the funk guitar, duplicating it, doing a save copy in. We do not accept late assignments. They will not be accepted. But if you're having some troubles, talk to us, reach out to us, right? We have a heart. What we don't do is people's like, oh, sorry, can I turn it in late? All right, so give me an NQ if you've got no questions. Give me a question mark if you want me to pause for the cause for a moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome. Well, as always, I'm going to stick around after class and start helping out my class a little bit. Showed up. We got some questions that need to be answered here. I want to remind everybody, if you are watching the archive and things aren't making sense, please do not hesitate. Reach out to your instructor quickly. Let them know the minute and hour or hour and minute, whatever that second that I was explaining something so they can help you out because we want you to make sure that you understand this. I want to thank Erica, Keith, Kyle, Lawrence, Stan, Ted, Trey E, and Trey K for showing up today. We're going to be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock rocking the remix project that we've started on. And we're going to be laying down drums tomorrow night, so make sure you swing on by and take that click track we made and start putting down some awesome drums. So thank you everybody for being here. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Again, my name is Steve Kane. I'm with the Audio Workstations class here at Full Sail University. As always, peace.